everybody, welcome to 6 Degrees Networking, our launch in Glasgow. We've been in Edinburgh now for a few months. We're here tonight to really just start off the 6 Degrees Networking in Edinburgh, in Glasgow, through from Edinburgh. We want to get this going every month now. We think this venue is fantastic. Very pleased with this. So what I'm going to do now is introduce Joan Serafini. Joan and I have known each other for a few years now, through 6 degrees of separation, which is why we're called 6 Degrees Networking. Joan and I actually were involved in the Braveheart premiere in 1995 at Stirling Castle, and then many years later, although we didn't know it, we'd been involved. We met. I run a catering company, catering events company, and Joan is from Equator Events, and I ended up doing some work with her. Joan is managing director of Equator Events. She does events all over the world, I would be right in saying, as far as Singapore and all over. She's a brilliant person. She's just one of these people that's so well connected that, you know, I had to get her invited along tonight because she is a serial networker. She knows everybody. So without further ado, I'll introduce you to Joan. She's just going to talk a bit about what she does and what she's done in the past. Joan.
Thanks for that very complimentary introduction, Chris. That fiver I gave me earlier was obviously money well spent. Well, good evening everyone. As Chris said, a very warm welcome to Glasgow. This is, I hope, the first of many events, 6 Degrees of Networking. I know it's been very successful in the East, and let's hope in the future make Glasgow even better. You'll hear more from Chris about 6 Degrees later on, but for the moment, my name is Joan and I'm a Glaswegian. I'm kind of a born-again Glaswegian. I was born here and I left when I was 7 or 8. I went through to live in Middle Earth, or Falkirk as I call it. I'm not upsetting anyone in Falkirk. I came back here to this dear green place in 2002, and after over 20 years in government, I decided to leave and start my own events management company. Bit of a risk, but I was latterly private secretary to Henry McLeish and Jack McConnell, and I left and started Equator Events. Now when Chris asked me to be his warm-up act, or his fluffer as he calls it, now I only just found out tonight what that is, so there you go. Very sheltered life. I wondered what on earth I could talk about. I'm not going to tell you guys how to run your businesses. I'm not going to do anything guru-ish, nothing like that at all. I just thought it'd be a bit of a light relief before Chris does all the serious business later on, and of course Dominic as well. I want to use a wee example of what my life was like in government, the experiences I had when I was there, and how that really helped me to start my own business. As I said, I worked in government, central government for over 20 years, and I know what you're thinking. I joined when I was 8, but no, I didn't really. I had many different jobs in my time in civil service, all of them good I have to say, despite where you're here. I did secondments at places like Historic Scotland, Locating Scotland, which is now Scottish Development International, and perhaps my favourite, the High Court in Edinburgh. I used to work in the accounting and bankruptcy department, quite relevant these days. So another thing about sequestrations and how to fill our expenses form, and more importantly. The best bit of that particular job was my friend and I used to sit during a lunch hour in the #1 court where they had all the really good juicy cases. I would sit there like 2 old hags at an execution and watch all these guys get put down for 20 years for drugs or whatever. I always miss them as anything. But lastly, as I said, I was private secretary to 2 former First Ministers, and it was there that I really, those jobs, I learned the skills which were proved invaluable when I set up the business in 2002. Over the years I learned to be a multitasking juggler, a good organiser and a creative thinker. In other words, a woman. Sorry guys. Oh, come on, controversy. Thank you girls. And trust me, you had to be all these things working with mostly, in fact, all male ministers back in the day. But don't get me wrong, I always liked the ministers I worked for. I think you have to in those jobs, and you get to know them really well and their families really well. And let's face it, as a private secretary, we basically ran their lives, and you now know who run the country. It certainly wasn't them. But sometimes even when I did spend so much time working with these guys and looking after them, they would go off message and just do their own thing, no matter how much I tried to tell them. I just had to leap into action to save them from themselves. Well, on one occasion, I remember a ministerial engagement up north when we had a bit of downtime before the event actually started. So I brought one of the main players of this particular event in to meet the minister, to have a chat with him. So it was all very harmless. I'll just nip off and have a look at the room as you do, Claire. Red Harbour events. You go and check the room, make sure everything's all ready, you know, the AD, etc. I swear to God, I was out of the room about 10 minutes and I came back in, and all I heard were the words were, and it only cost you £30 million, Minister. That's all it'll be. And I thought, shit. Turns out the guy he was talking to in the room I didn't see before was a chairman or owner of a very famous football club up north and wanted to revamp the stadium. I didn't realise, of course, at the time that's who it was, otherwise I never left my football mad minister with him. And that kind of gives you a clue to who it was at the time. That was possibly the football. I will tell you who the minister was. I reckon if I had returned when I did and dragged him out of that room, my minister would have walked away with a very large hole in his wallet, and the guy would have a very large cheque in his hand, metaphorically speaking, of course, and my boss would have some explaining to do at his next cabinet meeting. So not only did I sometimes have to save them from themselves, I also had to save them from other people, no matter how well-meaning they were. Take, for instance, the time when one of my ministers, who again should remain nameless, went to visit a large hospital in Dundee. So a colleague and I did a recce a couple of weeks beforehand. We saw all the route he was going to take, the entrance, the exit, all the staff he was going to meet, the porters, the nurses, etc. Thought that's fine, everything's all sorted, it's exactly what the minister's doing, do the same at the PM, we'll stick to that format. So you turn up in the day in the hospital, and of course nothing's the way you thought it was going to go. A couple of consultants came up which we thought was a perfect opportunity for the Minister, First Minister, and TV cameras that would inevitably follow him about the hospital. So while the Minister was being shown around the wards introduced to patients and staff, my colleague and I, who'd done the previous recce, went to check out the area of the hospital that we were talking about. So we went down this big corridor and we found ourselves eventually in what was called the endoscopy suite. I thought, okay, a rather dark room which housed a large modern looking machine that had LCD screens, etc. I thought, this looks really interesting, and I said to one of the consultants, so what is this for? I'd heard the word endoscopy, but I just could not think what it meant. Well, before they could barely control their excitement for telling us it was used to train surgeons to perform endoscopic operations. It was a simulator, if you like. And they were going on about how it was the leading edge of technology, it was the first in Europe, blah, 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 it was fantastic, and Dundee was leading the way. All very interesting to say, but what the hell does it do? Well, you know one of those times you say, I really shouldn't have asked that. And I shouldn't have. 2 minutes later, one of the consultants pulled back a screen with this fantastic big, I can only describe it as a big space-age machine. And on the front of it, I can only describe it as 2 large plastic arches. 2 big bums right in front of this machine. So I was trying not to split my sides laughing and say, oh my God, what am I going to do? But the consultants put their hands into the gloves, either side, and this whole machine sprang into life. So this was an instrument, a proper instrument with a camera at the end, and the minute they put their hands into it, you've got it already.
Found the level.
The machine burst into life, and you're inside a patient's colon. So you can imagine who was sticking his hands in the probe at the time. So that's what endoscopy meant. So I won't go into more detail, maybe a glass of wine, get some food, you might be sick. But just let me say that we politely but firmly told these enthusiastic consultants there wasn't this anyway in this earth or any other earth going to let my boss stand in front of a machine like that with the Daily Record, the Sun, STV, Sky TV. You can imagine the press headlines would be for